Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're reacting to Jubilee, Millionaires versus Minimum Wage Workers, Middle Ground. Let's get right into it. And if you don't know how Middle Ground works, it's just people debating on questions about this, and I feel like this one would be interesting.
Hi, my name is Tim. I'm a community organizer here in LA. I work on environmental justice, social justice, housing justice, and incarceral state issues.
My name is Christiana Hurt. I'm the owner of the seven-figure brand Wealthy College Kid, and I'm 24 years old.
My name is Graham. I'm a real estate agent, real estate investor, and YouTuber.
My name is Beatrice.
Now, I have seen Graham before. I do watch some of his videos. I do like him. A little bit of bias there, but not really.
I am 21 and I am a Target worker.
My name is Brett Knutson. I am an entrepreneur and an investor.
My name is Tiara Lucky and I am a minimum wage worker. I just hustle, do Instacart, and I'm also an actress.
The first prompt is...
Bro, Brett is tall, bro. We got a former NBA player in here.
I worked for everything I earned.
So I grew up with two parents that were basically paycheck to paycheck, and none of them had any extra money. It was by seeing my parents struggle like that I really realized the value of money. So I basically poured everything I had into my work. There were years, I would say 4 years, that I didn't have any friends. From 18 to 22, it was just me. And I was working from probably 8 a.m. until midnight, working as a real estate agent.
I completely agree. I think that what a lot of people discount is all the sacrifices that are made. I didn't go to parties. I don't really honestly have like a ton of friends. And it's not like a sacrifice where I was like, I'm gonna have no friends, but you can only balance so many plates or you drop everything. And the plate that I chose to give up was a social life.
Well, I feel like unless you have people like helping you with money and stuff, then I feel like everyone can say that they worked for everything that they have in one way or another. Because like even if you invest in something, you put money into that, you worked for that money.
There's a lot of labor and communal effort that goes into getting all of us here that we don't get paid for, that other people don't get paid for. The examples that you two gave are perfect, actually. You both earn your money by extracting value from capital transactions. You know, you are not building the house you're selling. You're not out there working like in a slave mine, pulling selenium out of the earth like some people on this planet are. And we have to re-understand what it means to earn money and how we all interact to do that.
How would you address
Well, it depends on what you consider working, I feel like. Because if I see it as how'd you get the money, right? And if you did, and it's not physical, right? It could be like mental stress or whatever. But you did something to get the money, right?
Extracting value if you start a company from the ground and then you build it into a multi-million-dollar company?
But no one does that because there's investors and stuff that come in too.
Not always.
Most of the time. I mean, you have to get capital from somewhere.
I have raised money before.
Yeah.
But I've also started companies that I didn't raise money for.
How would you finance them?
By working a part-time retail job for minimum wage and then saving up and then putting it in.
I have felt judged for my income level.
I feel like everyone can walk on this.
I think it's part of general society. We are always judging each other. Having used SNAP points before, like standing in a grocery store, using the card that I've gotten for the government to pay for food, and feeling the people behind me thinking that's something that you haven't earned or gotten.
Has somebody ever asked you to use your Snap on them?
I mean, I have. Generally, there's not that much to go around.
It's the same mentality when it's $1 versus Snap. Somebody could still ask me to share. Well, you get it. Why can't you help me out?
I didn't step forward because me personally, I surround myself with people that just like, what's in my bank account just doesn't matter to the people that are around me. I do think a lot of judgment towards how much you make reflects on like your dating experience. That I do feel.
See, I've never had
Yeah.
that because I'm
No?
so frugal. If there are girls that are out there who want me for my money, like they should know I'm probably like the cheapest person out there. I literally will wait like 9 p.m. for happy hour to start just so I get the happy hour menu.
you
And stuff like, so
frugal.
I would be like the last person any sort of like gold digger would want.
I find myself in situations with these boys that have no job, no nothing. And I end up taking on these charity cases of
Yeah.
relationships. Oh, why don't you put him on or build him up? And it's like, you can't build.
Yeah, it's not Build-A-Bear.
I mean, you can. I mean, I've
Yeah.
met guys I've dated that, go on to have successful businesses from my input. And, you want to date somebody equal or greater, but then you don't want to be materialistic about like, well, I only date people with money because I make money.
Anyone can become rich if you work hard enough.
Now, I want to see who. I think some of the millionaires might. In the U.S., middle class and up, I say yes. Maybe some parts are lower class. Because really, outside of the country, it's bad. And it's like really hard. Like some places, it's really hard to make money. And a millionaire is what I consider like rich. I know that's not what rich is, but like I feel like that's kind of what it's asking.
So I just think that anyone could become rich if they actually like believed in themselves and took the risk to actually believe in themselves, that there is some success at the end of the line of that.
I feel like a lot of it comes down to mindset first and really having the belief that you can do that. I know for me, one of my biggest concerns was I didn't have any skills whatsoever and I didn't get into college. I have like a 2.0 GPA in high school. Like it was terrible. I had such bad grades, but I really turned that into a positive, and I really believe this actually happened for a reason because now I could pursue something else, which was real estate, because that didn't require a college degree. And looking back now, that was the best thing that had ever happened.
That's like a really sticky situation with anyone can become like rich, and because I don't think that's completely true. A lot of people can if they have like connections and stuff, but I feel like sometimes people like they work 2 jobs, or sometimes they have other things going on. They have to pay their needs first. They don't always have like money for that, Because like my dad, he's like a landscape worker. He has tried making his own company and it doesn't always like work out. He has tried hard. It doesn't work. That's why I think it's like you have to have connects, That's why.
Do you mind if I interject?
Yeah.
In terms of building connections, I didn't have any connections either when it comes to working in real estate. And what I did to make the connections is I went to open houses every single Sunday for months. And I probably met at least 50 or 60 real estate agents. And it was through that I met one agent who was really gracious enough to say, if you want to come work underneath me, I'm happy to do that. And it was really that connection, which like you mentioned, connection, that I met that person through just really kind of putting myself out there to meet people.
There's a lot of institutional and systemic barriers that we aren't really talking about. If you walk into like a Beverly Hills $5 million house not speaking English, they're probably not going to give you the like hookup. We don't tend to move within circles where those connections cross economic and socioeconomic lines. But even beyond that, I want to say like you took a big risk and your risk paid off. But what if your risk hadn't paid off? And that's for a lot of people who do try and start their own businesses, try and start their own YouTube channel. That risk doesn't pay off and there's no real safety net there. So we're not really getting an adequate side of people who have like taken that entrepreneurial risk and not been able to take it again.
I'm almost worried it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, though. If you go in it fearing, oh, what am I going to fail, and that becomes your main focus, I think more people are less likely to take risks actually needed to succeed because they're more focused on not failing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think your beliefs create the level of action you take, and the level of action you take determines your results, and it is cyclical.
I am not obligated to give to the less fortunate.
No one is. No one has to give to the less fortunate. Some people might feel obligated, but that's not the question. I don't think anyone should move forward. Oh, I am not obligated. So yes, everyone should move forward. No one has to give to the less fortunate, and it'd be nice if you did, but like no one has to. You could be Elon Musk, and no one's forcing. I mean, Twitter might force you too, but oh, that's
So
surprising.
the reason I stood up on this one is one of the missions in my organizing is getting away from this kind of notion that we have that charity or philanthropy is the way in which we solve social problems. At the same time, like, I still give people money when I have extra change in my pocket, so I don't want to seem like I'm totally opposed to it.
I agree with that. I've given people money and not gotten it back. I've given people money and they've wasted it on drugs. Why did I even give you the money to
Exactly.
begin with if you weren't going to use it to better yourself? Is it my job to make sure that you're not going hungry? No, we have plenty of organizations that will make sure that you're eating, make sure that you have a roof over your head.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to fall on my shoulders, per se.
I feel like when you say, are you obligated to give to the unfortunate, it's always the mindset of like money. Well, guess what? I have no money currently to give. But I have like my morality, I have my goodness about me. I'm just trying to build a community, especially when you have a group of people that is creative and supportive, you build faster than just by yourself.
I don't always donate with money. Sometimes I'll go and I'll fill bags of food for kids that are starving, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it doesn't always have to be money. Like, I don't think it's our responsibility to give money based off of what we think the person's gonna do with it. Like, that's on them if they choose to use it wrongly. It's our responsibility just to be generous.
I am not afraid to spoil myself.
I feel like at the age that these people are, spoiling yourself doesn't matter too much. Now, when it comes to kids, it's a different story because growing up is different. But I feel like you can spoil yourself, especially if you have the money to. But like, if you don't, I mean, there's better things to do with your money, but I'm not your boss. Do what you want, right?
I personally do spoil myself. I work hard to be able to go into a store and get something for myself. I bought a $4,000 hairless cat that I had genetically made. And when I was in high school, when I started making money, I went and got that cat. When you're in middle school and everybody's hitting puberty and getting taller and boobs, and I didn't get any boobs. What did I do when I started making money? I went and bought boobs. Like, that's what I wanted. And there's the controversy of like, you're gonna die from your implants. Like, I'll die a D cup and have no problem with it.
Oh my God.
So I rarely ever treat myself. I basically keep my spending at the same as when I was like 19 or 21. No matter how much money I make, I spend the exact same amount. For instance, this sounds crazy, but when I was like 17, I wanted a Lamborghini. And there was nothing I wanted more. I want to be that guy, 18 years old and pull up with a Lambo. Like, that was my dream. But when I actually got the money to go and buy the car, all of a sudden I realized, like, wait a second, that's stupid. I'm not gonna get the car. I'm going to invest it in real estate instead. But then I'm gonna wait, and then I'm gonna get the Lamborghini. And then you save up even more, and then you realize, wait, the Lambo is still stupid. Let me go and invest it. And even now, like, the chase and ambition of getting something is way more fun and enjoyable than actually getting that thing.
Yeah.
I don't really spoil myself because I always buy my needs first. I usually wait till like my next check to see if I have extra money, and if I do, then I spoil myself. But if I don't, then I don't.
I think it's interesting also that almost all of us have associated spoiling ourselves with spending money, and at
Yeah,
the same
sure.
time said
That's true.
spending that money is very unfulfilling. It's weird because even myself, like, I really just like having an F-off day and I just hang out and don't do anything and have any responsibilities.
that's
But I don't
true.
think about it as spoiling myself, even though that's my favorite time to spend.
I wish I had more money.
This is interesting because this will tell how like people feel about their place right now. If the millionaires woke up, that's interesting, right? Because like a millionaire wants more money. What more can you not buy? Well, I guess they're gonna make the argument who wouldn't want more money, but like nothing's gonna change when you have. That's like this is a leap from Millionaire, but Elon Musk wanting more money. What else is he gonna do with it? Like, what is he? He can't do much more. He can buy right now everything he wants. More money it's just a bigger number in your bank account.
For me, I think it's always a comfort thing knowing that I have a little bit more saved up or invested. And I think it could just be a psychological thing that no matter how much money I have, it's always psychologically never going to be enough because that becomes your new normal. So I think you're always chasing that.
I want more money so that I can pay off like my debt and travel. And like help some family members, and that's it.
That's why I want money. I mean, I don't want to be like, oh, give me money, you know, but like, I just want it for my needs, you know, or just for like a car because I need a car, you know, or just stuff my family needs, stuff my friends need.
I think for me, if I'm honest with myself, it's getting further away from how broke I was because I'm scared of that ever happening again. There is no end because of that.
So, of course, everyone could always use more money. Like, I've met billionaires who could definitely say that they would want more money, but more, I want to see a society in which the money that we have doesn't determine all of our possibilities. Because it seems like when we talk about solving problems, it comes back to money. My utopian vision is like a society where money really doesn't matter because we don't really need it to figure out value, but it makes a good translation for the time being.
Those frugal tips.
Oh yeah, no, I'll tell you all about credit card sharing.
Did you hear what they were talking about? The minimum wage workers were asking about like tips on like credit card or whatever. Well, and that's the end of the video, and I'm gonna ask you guys to subscribe so I can become a millionaire. Thank you.